The work that you are looking at here is a collection of, I think, 38 photographs, and they are moments of a walk in fog. And these relate very particularly to the work that we've just seen in the other room, because what I was talking about in the other room was the forms and structures that were produced in the moment of scribbling and the fact that they could be overwritten. What I noticed on a walk in fog back in Staffordshire, where I grew up, was that it had exactly the same effect. So you walked through the landscape, this durational act, and normally you're aware of the landscape all around you, but because it was a foggy day, what was happening was that the landscape was opening up in front of you, but closing behind. So you're very much within the moment of each of these snapshots along the way. And what I've done here is the very first photograph and the very last photograph over here are an actual repeat. So there's a sort of circularity of this that meets with the video installation that we've just seen in the other room.
The obvious question is, how far did you walk? Was this a long walk? Was it, are you talking 100 yards? How did you cover this?
About 5-6 fields, and it was there and back. So it was probably a walk of about 2 miles, no more, maybe a bit more. So the Staffordshire landscape has its own characters. It's more rolling hills. It's not like the Peak District or the Pennines. And the way that the fog sits in the landscape is really obvious here, and it obliterates our understanding of where we've come from and where we're going. Again, reminiscent of the drawings. And I think for me that was really interesting, because what it was talking about is the moment within a continuum of a process. So if we take the process of walking, it's durational, it has time, and what of course the camera can do that no other thing can do really, is offer a snapshot, a moment within that continuum. And that's what's been represented here. Just as in the video, moments in the continuum of the process of the drawing were being broken down and represented to the viewer, again put back into durational form through the medium of a time-lapse movie.
And during the duration of the walk, naturally, the shots would change. It wouldn't be just a case of you walking 500 yards one way and then 500 yards back and it being exactly the same, because the fog moves as well.
Of course, yeah. I think the idea that we can repeat an experience, even if the source is supposedly static or the same, that can never really happen, because our understanding of the object will have changed because we'll have seen it before. Our position will have changed through time. Our understanding of the context in which that object is presented will have changed. And also there will be different sort of emotional links that we have with an object, no matter what it is, when we see it in different time spaces, as it were. So we're talking about repetition here in some very interesting modes. We've got repetition of the subject through time. We've got, as you point out, the repetition of repeat viewings. How are they changed? How's that altering our understanding of the object?
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.